Greetings, members, one and all of the Salivation Nation. All the gold ever mined on Earth, visualized in bullion bar form. Let's explore. Now, for those of you who have been on this channel for quite a number of years, in fact, over 7 years, you may recognize this graphic. I've actually have referenced it in the past in a specific video, but probably in other videos as well. And this is all the gold visualized in bullion bars from demonocracy.info. I thought I'd do an update video to that video from 2014 and see what we have, how much gold is out there that has been mined above ground, and where does it all go? And I think this visualization, is one of the best out there, so it certainly is worth revisiting in this video. There's a surprisingly little gold in the world, which means that it's rare. Although rarity, as we know, does not necessarily equate to value, but the unmistakable aspect of gold is that it is treasured, it is desired, there is demand for it, and so therefore it is valuable. And if we take a look at the gold value that we're looking at here, it's referencing $2,000 an ounce. Now, as I record this video, we have seen gold take a dramatic step backwards in terms of its price measurement on the markets, in the marketplace. In fact, right now it is about just over $1,850. However, it wasn't that long ago where it did far surpass that $2,000 an ounce level, and I believe we'll see it again sometime soon. And it may not be this year, but it could be next year again. We'll see it sooner rather than later. But here's an interesting statistic here that this website offers here. When gold reaches $3,110 an ounce, 1 ounce of gold and a $100 bill will have an equal value in weight, and it won't matter if you have 1 ounce of $100 bills or 1 ounce of gold. So there it is. So essentially, 1 ounce of $100 bills and 1 ounce of gold will be the same. Gold is usually measured in troy ounces, and a troy ounce is about 1.09 what are known as avodoporous ounces, which is the weight that most of us use for other products. So if we take a look at some items here, we have a pen, we have a $100 bill, and we can see there's a chart of standard gold bullion and size comparison. The cubes are measured by volume and gold weight of 19.3 grams per cubic centimeter. And the plates are typical gold bar dimensions of the same gold weight. So we see here just representations of what a gram of gold would look like in a little cube as opposed to a bar. Just goes to show you the density of gold. It's pretty remarkable. A 5-gram gold bar, typical size, 10 gram, and very interesting indeed to see. And then a 20-gram gold bar, and then a 1 ounce gold bar there, which is 31.103 grams. You can see how tiny that cube is compared to this fountain pen here and the $100 bill behind it. If we take and step this out a bit further, we can see other gold bars that you may be familiar. You have a 50-gram gold bar, a 100-gram gold bar, a 250-gram gold bar, and what the subsequent cubes would look like. 500-gram and 1 kilo of gold compared to the cubes that we could see there in the background, compared to a Swiss Army style knife that you see here. Looking down, we see cash and how much cash would take to buy this 400 ounce gold bar, 4/9 fine gold. A gold bar is worth the $800,000 displayed at the left at $2,000 an ounce. The gold bar weighs 12.44 kilograms. That's 27.42 pounds or more than 3 1-gallon milk jugs. Quite heavy indeed. Can you imagine lifting that up for the small size that this is? As an investment, gold has outperformed the Dow Jones for the last 8 years straight. For centuries, people have tried to reproduce gold. So far, everyone has failed. That's known as alchemy, and is also quite tough to reproduce digitally. That said, if you see a shade of tungsten color, please excuse us. Here we can see what 1 ton of gold looks like in these 400-ounce bars here. Wow. 1 ton of gold is worth $64.3 million at $2,000 an ounce. Gold has gone from $18.92 in 1911 to just over $1,700 in 2012. The price of gold has inflated more than 9,000% in recent times. Of course, now it is well above $1,700 an ounce compared to 1911. Tungsten filled fake gold bars, which look like the ones above, have been found in Manhattan. Such tungsten fake bars can even be ordered from certain websites, which, by the way, those websites don't exist anymore. The Bank of England gold reserve can be seen in a video that shows those, and we've actually have seen that. My periodic video shows the Bank of England's gold reserves. Quite impressive indeed. And here is what 1.6 tons of gold look like in the back of a pickup truck here, and that is $106.4 million. And you can see that gold, how much space that takes up compared to all that cash. Wow. And so this is what this truck looks like with all that gold. Amazing. And this is how much gold the average man could haul in his truck without breaking the suspension. Max carrying weight of the truck is 3,670 pounds, which is the weight of the gold you see in the truck bed. So that's the maximum amount of weight this truck could hold, and you could get away with it. Imagine, amazing. Now we look down here and we see there's 100 tons of gold in those same gold bars and 10 tons of gold, and we can see it compared to the lady sitting on a couch full of cash. Pretty amazing. The central bank of Western countries usually handle their nation's large gold reserves. A couple generations ago, the U.S. dollar was backed by gold, so the Fed had to hold gold. Today, the dollar is backed by the confidence of the United States repayment of its debts and bonds. The U.S. Central Bank's, the Federal Reserve's chairman, actually this is a little bit older, so this is Ben Bernanke, but Ben Bernanke said that gold is only held as a tradition and that gold is not money. It's not what J.P. Morgan said, by the way. Semi-truck full of gold. This is 24.88 tons, and that is same value as $1.6 billion at $2,000 an ounce. The legal carry weight of a semi-truck is between 22 to 25 tons. The truck is carrying 24.88 tons of gold worth $1.6 billion at $2,000 an ounce. So you can see, in reality, how much space that gold takes up on that truck, but how heavy it is. It's amazing. The density is quite incredible to see there. And if you wanted to buy a B-2 stealth bomber, you just need 2 trucks, and one of them wouldn't even have a third, or about maybe a third, at $2,000 an ounce. That's $2.1 billion. A B-2 bomber was literally worth more than its weight in pure gold. With the price of gold going up, finally gold is more valuable in weight than a B-2 bomber. The Northrop Grumman B-2 Spirit bomber program cost $44.75 billion for a total of 21 units built that averaged at $2.1 billion per unit. The same value in gold at $2,000 an ounce can be seen on the semi-trucks to the right. The left, you see a semi-truck with $2.13 billion. Doesn't matter how you choose economically between the semi-truck of cash, the gold trucks, or the B-2 bomber, they're all worth the same. Pretty amazing. Now let's take a look at what the U.S. has on store with their gold reserves. It hasn't changed for many years. So the U.S. gold reserve is 8,133.5 tons. And that's the book value of $11 billion as of the 11th of January 2013. Year 1933, and the pillar of human civilization and capitalism, the United States of America gold possession was criminalized. Shortly after confiscating the gold, the U.S. devalued gold from $20.67 per ounce to $35 per ounce, by so devaluing the U.S. dollar by 70% overnight. The U.S. Federal Reserve note still said redeemable in gold, while doing so got you arrested. USA was on the gold standard until 1971. That's when Nixon closed the window, and it remained illegal until 1975. The arguably real intention of criminalizing gold was because the Federal Reserve printed too many dollars, backed by a limited amount of gold. People knew gold was worth more than the $20.67 per ounce that the U.S. government was redeeming or selling gold at. Pretty interesting, remarkable. And when you think about it, and you think about Fort Knox in general, which not all of the gold is stored at Fort Knox, I think some of it's stored at the New York Fed as well. This just goes to show you that, that's a lot of structure for this little amount of gold. And when you think about it, it's pretty amazing. Now let's take a look at the whole entire world's gold holdings here. And a lot of these numbers are probably a little bit out of date. And this is, so we won't necessarily go through all of these. But I think one thing we should notice here is that the United States is far ahead, but these other countries are catching up quickly, especially when we see, Italy shockingly has a high amount of gold, and Russia is, less than half of Italy's gold, at least at this time. More likely Russia's playing catch up to Italy because their economies are about the same size. And look at China as well. We know China and Russia especially are getting more gold, and nations like Turkey and others who aren't on this list are getting a lot more as well. We can see here that Iran has a considerable amount of gold, pretty amazing. And India, they've been stockpiling gold as well. Fascinating indeed. So the bottom line here is all the gold in the world mined in history is 166,500 tons. More likely it's a lot more than that now. That number is out of date, but nonetheless it is what it is, and more likely it's not a whole lot more than that. And I'll tell you why here in a moment, as we take a look here and see exactly how this is made up. Now, this seems like a lot of gold stacked up here, but you think about it, there's a lot of air between these bars, because these are visualized in bullion bars, and these are the 400-ounce good delivery bars. So there's a lot of space between that gold. So they can stack that up here. And so when we go down here and take a look at level 1, that's the largest portion, and that is over half of gold that mined in the world is in jewelry. 84,200 tons therein. Then we have level 2, which is 31,000 tons, 18.7% as private investment. And that's hedging in gold, coins, bars, and rounds. Then level 3, we see the world governments, 29,000 tons between all the governments that hold it as reserves, which goes to show you that really the people have the power in jewelry and private investment. Remarkable indeed. But nonetheless, governments are holding on and trying to accumulate more of it as much as possible. The fourth level here is other use. More likely this is going to be the industrial side, utilization, and other aspects that gold is used for. Uses in industry, science, technology, medicine, and the like. Pretty remarkable. That's a lot of gold. But when you take it and compact it down to a cube, it's quite small. All the gold in the world in a solid cube could be melted into a solid cube with sides of 20.5 meters. And that's actually closer to 21 meters per side now. So it's they're mining more of it, but not a whole lot more. is being added, but yes, that cube would be larger than this. A small gold sphere in front of the couch weighs 1 metric ton, exactly, with a value of $50 million. Can you imagine having that little gold sphere in your home? And look at that gold sphere weighing 1 metric ton would definitely break through your break through your floor for sure. Look how small that is. Pretty amazing. Wish they kind of would have shown that, but nonetheless, there it is. Olympic-sized swimming pool. Fascinating indeed to see that. So that is all of the gold mined in the world. And again, it would be 21 meters on each side about now. And there you have it. So let me know what your thoughts are. In fact, I think that weight is about 168,000 tons now. So I thought I would share this. Very interesting indeed. I'll probably do one in silver too. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section below. Do you have some of this gold that's in this bottom tier or this middle tier? I do, and I hope you will get some too. Would like to extend a multitude of gratitude to you all for taking the time to watch, and to encourage you to please rate, share, comment, and subscribe.